Do it as co-host.
You're going to make me the host, though, so I can transfer to Jeff later,
All right, I'm gonna make you
right? If you don't mind.
co-host. All
Yeah,
right,
I'd rather just be the host so you don't have to worry about anything.
host, and you can make me co-host.
Be the hostess with the mostest. Oh,
Yay.
There we go. All right, so let me see who I have here. Make sure I don't miss anyone.
those chickens.
So, what do we think of the president pardoning Roger Stone
Oh,
last night?
he always does it on Friday nights too. Just
Yeah, Friday, right? But these guys,
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
I'm not showing myself yet because I'm having breakfast.
Me too, but I'm eating now, but I'm going to turn my video off when more people come in.
Okay. I think that it's despicable about Roger Stone. And
I don't know who that is.
he's a Republican fixer who deserves a big punishment and avoided it.
he was guilty of 7 felonies. 7 felonies. He was sentenced only to 40 months in prison. He gave the judge nothing but headaches throughout the entire trial, and the judge had to reprimand him multiple times. And now Trump pardoned him, like days before going off to prison.
Well,
So he served no jail time?
No jail time. And everything he did was to protect Trump, and now Trump is protecting him. As Mitt Romney posted, it is
Ridiculous.
corruption, the epitome of corruption.
Well, the other Republican senators wouldn't impeach him.
Hold on, let me let Lonnie in.
Wouldn't even hear the evidence.
I'm reading The Plot Against America right now.
Oh no, gosh.
who is that by?
It's Philip Roth. It's
Oh, wow.
Charles Lindbergh run in 1940
Uh-huh.
as the first platform, and it's just making me think so much of like this reality that we're currently living through.
Better change in November, boy, oh boy.
I read a headline, when reality is like fiction, it's time to read fiction.
Yep. When reality is stranger than fiction.
It is. God.
Well, yes and no.
I don't know. There's so many TV shows like that were based on like really outrageous political scenarios, and
Yeah.
like they can't outdo reality anymore.
I think The Handmaid's Tale is still outdoing reality.
Maybe for the next like 10 years.
That's really cheerful.
And here's a weird one. Ann Coulter is for Amy McGrath in Kentucky against Mitch McConnell.
Is she really?
Yeah. She hates him, apparently.
Why? I would think that Mitch McConnell is, the darling of all conservatives. Just
I don't know. I didn't read that far. I just I saw that.
Yeah, I think he's worse than Trump. That he does it more consciously.
He really knows what he's doing. He
knows what he's doing.
He is a total plotting person.
No, he's more aware of what he's doing.
It would just be really nice to have a fully Democrat-controlled, bicameral.
I just hope it doesn't take another depression. That's what it took last time. We had a string of Republicans, Harding and Hoover and a whole bunch of them. And until it took a depression to dislodge them. Get a Democratic-controlled government. I hope it doesn't happen. I hope we don't need that again. Maybe that's what we're getting now.
I think that's what we're getting into.
Well, that's unfortunate that that's what it would take.
I mean, 17.5 million unemployed. Like that's nearing Great Depression levels.
Yeah.
31 million filing for unemployment.
But Trump doesn't consider it his fault. It's the fault of the Chinese pandemic, according to him, and he wants us to get back to work, regardless of how that's going to impact people's health.
Well, he doesn't care if old people die.
There's an article in the Washington Post this week from a couple who are professors at Lehigh, and they were writing about this move to send kids back to school, but like they're not actually talking about doing like full time in school, right? They're talking about, part time or whatever, and it's really screwy because you can't actually, like, parents can't return to work if children are not full time being cared for, right? And
Right.
in school, right? So you still find yourself in this weird in between. But they're saying that having children is actually, young children, makes it almost impossible to actually get work done. And so they said they've been switching on and off in these 3-hour blocks. For 3 hours, one parent is the on parent that the children can bother with questions. And for 3 hours, and the other parent is like on a do not disturb, and then they switch. And so they said that in a 3-hour block, they realized they were being interrupted all the time. They wanted to like keep track in an Excel spreadsheet. Just 3-hour block, they were interrupted about half an hour. So, it sounds okay, 2.5 hours of work, like that's not so bad out of a 3-hour window.
That one's.
The thing is, those interruptions, they were in the 3-hour window, there were 45 interruptions.
Oh, wow.
From a space of like 1.5 minutes up to like 19 minutes, but they were just constant interruptions. And a kid asking, for tech support or for a snack, or they can't reach something off a shelf, and like it makes it impossible to actually like focus on your work, like you're trying to write something. Cindy knows all about this. I was trying to have a meeting with Cindy yesterday, and Lev interrupted multiple times, and at some point I had to just cancel it, like say we have to stop talking because
Yeah.
I couldn't actually do both. And it's like it's this really weird reality I think that we're all living in. That we have people who are single, who have a very different reality than couples who are empty nesters, have a very different reality than people with older kids and people with younger kids. And it's just this, like, everybody's having these very different realities, and it makes it really hard to understand, the experience for everyone. But
I think also, Gabriel, I can sympathize with your particular situation because I was a mom of an only child, and I would take any kid I could after school home with me so I could actually be in peace.
yeah,
Because Samantha has no one but me to express every thought and need she has.
yeah,
So when I lived with her and I tried dating, a lot of gentlemen would want to talk on the phone. I said, no offense, but that's actually not going to happen. My daughter either A, eavesdrops, or will interrupt me every 30 seconds. And for someone I don't know, I just can't have that. So it's every 30 seconds. So I feel for parents.
and Sammy was older when that was the case.
12 years to 16 years, she won't stop talking.
I don't know who this Rainbow Services is, so let's allow them in, but let's keep a close look to see.
It might be Judy. Did you hear me? It's Judy.
Okay,
Oh. It is Judy.
good call. How did you know that?
Because I know where she works.
Rainbow Services, that's her thing, her place.
I'm thinking of like Shabbat services and like.
No.
Gabriel, I have
Change it.
no email coming in after Shabbat. Can you help me? No email at all since yesterday at 1 p.m.
That's weird.
Yes, it's very,
But you got some.
no, it turned
You-
out,
You got mine.
no, that was just a test and then that stopped too, so.
I help you with tech support right now in Shabbat, but
No, that's why I said after Shabbat.
Shabbat. Yes, yeah, I can help you.
Good, thank you.
It's very
Where'd
strange.
Judy go?
Here I am.
How come her Zoom
Wait.
is here? Anything else not?
I'm on my laptop for the first time for Zoom. So it's, oh, there she is. Okay, I see you.
Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Good to see you.
Be here.
I like your background, Judy.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. That's the view out of my living room, off my balcony.
Yeah, right.
As
But
long
I'm not sitting there. That's a picture of my view.
That's such a good idea.
Hmm.
What is this here? Oh, these are my blinds. I have a nice tree here. You just can't see it.
Hmm.
problem is when you let in too much light, it distorts the whole picture, so.
Right, I better keep this.
Are there people we should be letting in for
Not
Shalom, Carol Stein,
live streaming or no?
with the beautiful hair.
We're at mishkan.org right now.
So
How
there
come
are,
mine gets so distorted?
Yeah, we're on. No, nobody's in the waiting room.
Yeah.
Why am I so distorted with virtual background? Look at me.
Probably
Because
because,
you don't have a green screen.
I have
yeah.
to have a green screen?
Well, you don't have to, but I don't have one, but then you'll see me disappear into the background.
The colors that you are wearing are going to be very similar to like the colors behind you, right? So your face tone is very similar to the door behind you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the problem.
It sets that as your chroma, and therefore it
Look
blocks.
at that.
And you have to
I'm
have
a star man. I'm a star man.
you have to have a solid color background. You can't have
Yes.
And it doesn't match any colors that you were wearing.
What is your background, Judy?
The picture, it's a photograph that I took.
No, talking about
Just a plain wall?
just a plain wall behind you?
Oh, yeah, no, it's actually my bedroom. I don't have a green screen, but I have a brand new laptop. So they do better with these backgrounds.
Kevin, you look fabulous.
It's out of this world.
Geen de
Moving out of
Katloot,
this
geen de
I'm in orbit,
Katloot.
what can I say?
I have the ocean as my backyard.
Yes, you do.
Lovely.
I was reading a page out of Jaime's book last week because I took a photo of the beautiful lake where we were up in Mammoth. I thought, oh, this would be fun. And just have that as a nice background, even though I was sitting inside. But I just, my phone and my computer are not fancy enough to be able to do that. It doesn't work too well.
Belated happy birthday to you.
Why, thank you. And I guess normally we share simchas, later in, but we should all say Mazal Tov to Peter, who is a grandpa for the second time.
Wow.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wonderful.
So, very,
Little girl, Peter.
Hmm?
Grandson or granddaughter?
Grandson.
What's his
Oh,
name?
A little
Mazel
brother
tov.
for Henry. A little brother for Henry.
Oh, wonderful.
Very little, unfortunately. He was born after 29 weeks.
Wow.
Oh,
So he'll be stuck in an ICU for at least several weeks.
Wow.
what
Wow.
was his
And he was
weight?
only 2.5 pounds.
Wow.
My.
And
That's
they're
amazing.
doing, but they're capable. It's a maternity hospital and they're capable of doing extraordinary stuff.
Fascinating.
Wow.
I'm sure he'll be fine. My son was 1 pound, 14 ounces at 28 weeks. And
Wow.
Wow.
I'm sure he'll be fine.
Okay.
My cousin's child was 1 pound, 12 ounces,
Wow.
born at 6 months,
Gee.
and she's
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Oh, wow.
100%. Great hospital.
wow.
I weighed 2.5 pounds when I was born.
Gee.
With your
Huh.
sister, how much did your sister weigh?
About the same.
Wow.
So you're a twin, Lonnie?
Yeah.
Ah.
So,
Mm.
and of course, that was a long time ago. I guess they had incubators, but that's all they had.
Wow.
We turned out crazy. So, it worked out.
Crazy good. All right. But why don't we get started? It's 10:10. We're a little, a little behind the schedule. Not too bad though. So, well, welcome everybody. It's nice to see all your faces this morning. We're gonna get started on page. Well, we'll start on page.
Okay.
First, I at least have to put in my talit. So if you have a talit, you want to make sure you put it on as well. So we say Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu mitzvah v'tzivanu lihitatef batzitzit. And page 103 for Birkat HaShachar. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan l'sach v'bina l'avchin ben yom u'ben layla. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shesani v'tzamo. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shesani ben chorin. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shesani Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam pokeach ivrim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam malbish arumim. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, matir asurim. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, zokef kifufim. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, roka aretz al hamayim. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shasali kol tzorki. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamechin mitzadei gaver. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, ozer Yisrael bigvura. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, otir Yisrael b'tifara. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hanoten leya'ef koach. You may be seated if you are standing. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamever shenever yiratzon b'fnecha Eloheinu Unenu hayom b'chol yom l'chelech hasrachamim minecha b'nei kol reinei v'tigmei chasadim tovim. Baruch atah Adonai gomel chasadim tovim l'mo Yisrael. Page 112. Page 112. Psalm for Shabbat. Hayom Shabbat Kodesh Shabo Hayo Levei Mikdash Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat. Tov v'hodot l'Adonai. Tov v'hodot l'Adonai. Ulezamer l'shimcha elyon. Tov v'hodot Adonai. Tov v'hodot l'Adonai. Tov v'hodot l'Adonai. Ulezamer l'shimcha elyon. Tov v'hodot l'Adonai. Lehagid baboker chasdecha. Lehagid baboker chasdecha. Ve'munatcha baleilot. Ve'munatcha baleilot. Tov v'hodot l'Adonai. Lehagid baboker chasdecha. Lehagid baboker chasdecha. Ve'munatcha baleilot. Ve'munatcha baleilot. Tov v'hodot l'Adonai. Dai dai, dai. Dai dai, dai dai dai. Ya da 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 dai, ya da dai. Dai 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 dai. Dai dai da 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 dai. Dai da dai. Ya da 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 dai, dai ya da dai, dai ya da dai. Ya da 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 dai, dai da da dai, dai ya da dai. Ya da dai dai, dai ya da dai. Ya da 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 dai, dai ya da dai. Dai ya da dai, dai da da dai. Lehagid ki ashar Adonai. Lehagid ki ashar Adonai. Tzuri, 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 tzuri. Velo avlata bo. Continue on page 120. Psalm for dedicating of the new day. Mizmor sher chanachat habayit leDavid. Haramim Elecha Adonai ekra ve'el Adonai et Hanan. Elecha Adonai ekra, ve'el Adonai et Hanan. Shema Adonai v'choneni, Adonai hey ozeri. Shema Adonai v'choneni, Adonai hey ozeri. Hafachta mishcholi pitachta sakiv teznei simcha leman yisrochek v'olo yidom Adonai Elohai le'olam odecha. Page 122. Baruch she'amar. Baruch she'amar v'haya ha'olam. Baruch hu. Baruch oseh v'reishit. Baruch omer ve'oseh. Baruch gozer kayem, Baruch mirachem al haaretz, Baruch mirachem al habriot, Baruch mishalem sachar tov l're'av, Baruch hai la'ad, v'kayam la'netzach, Baruch podeh umatzil, Baruch shemo, Baruch atah Adonai. Baruch atah Adonai, melech mehulal batishbachot. Continue on page 136 with Ashrei. While we're kind of still in this mindset of Psukei de Zimra, we haven't had anybody sign up for wanting to lead any parts of the service or reading Torah in the last couple of weeks. If there's anybody who might want to lead us in just the Amidah, just the Shacharit Amidah, you just let me know. Right? If you give yourself a couple minutes, if you want to get your mind set for doing that. But if anybody thinks you might want to do it, you'll let us know when we get close. And we'd love to have somebody else participate. Again, we're on page 136 with Ashrei. Ashrei Yoshvei Veitecha Od Yehalelucha Od Yehalelucha Ashrei Yoshvei Veitecha Od Yehalelucha Od Yehalelucha. V'anachnu nivarech ya me'ata ve'ad olam. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. While we're in this mindset of Ashrei, I actually want us to kind of pause, maybe have a bit of a discussion. So feel free to unmute yourselves when you want to chime in here. So we're talking about this idea of Ashrei Yoshvei Veitecha. Happy are those who dwell in the house of God. And it's kind of an easy idea to express when we're sitting in a synagogue, or we're sitting in a Beit Midrash, when we're sitting in a space that is dedicated to Tefillah and to Talmud Torah, and then really feel that presence of God. But it's really difficult to get that same feeling when we're just sitting in our homes, when we're sitting in a space that feels profane, not in a negative way, but as in it's not a holy space. It's a space that we use all the time, a place where we sit and just read the news or watch TV or sit on the phone and talk to people. It just feels like it's a space that we're in all the time, and it loses some of that awe that we get when we're in a dedicated space for God. So I'm curious if anybody here, if you're comfortable sharing maybe some practices that you've incorporated to help make the space where you set up your computer to be able to participate in these online services, anything that you've done to make the space feel holy, other, and not just the same place where you might have your Zoom meetings for work or for other things. But like, how do you make your Shabbat experience at home feel holy and different? Anybody want to share? Open up. Yeah, Carol.
Honestly, as soon as I see all of you and hear your voice, Gabriel, and starting our chanting, that's different than everything else that I'm doing in the same space. And it feels very sweet and very intimate and connected with all of you. So I'm able to more easily get into the Shabbat vibe, so to speak.
That's great. Yeah, Judy.
I have a Mizrach wall that I face. It's actually the wall I face from my desk every day, and because I want to feel that holiness every day. And when I look up in between the tefillot, I don't know, I can turn this around and you can see if you can see it, but I doubt it.
Sign?
No. Okay. Doesn't matter. Anyway, it's a collection of Mizrach that I've made over the years, and I look up and I see the name of God.
Does everybody know what Mizrach is? Right, so the Mizrach being east. So when we daven, we face Mizrach, and when we're talking about Mizrahi Jews, those are Jews from the Middle East. But this idea that people will put little plaques or images on the eastern wall of a home, so when you see it, like that is the direction of Jerusalem. So you know that when you were facing that wall, right? We still can't see it. Everything's blending into the background, Judy.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Right, so oftentimes, not always, but oftentimes synagogues are designed so that the ark is the Mizrach wall. There are plenty of synagogues where that's not the case, and then you're kind of torn. Well, do I face the ark or do I face east? And the answer is, if you're in a sanctuary, you always face the Torah. You don't turn your back on the ark. But the idea of having that practice of putting things on your wall to remind you of facing Jerusalem, obviously that's a very nice way to kind of get into it. And even if they're there all week, you may not necessarily pay as much attention to them during the week when you're just on a regular Zoom call, but on Shabbat, it's there for you. Other things that people have been doing too? Yeah, Marilyn, how about you?
Oh, well, I necessarily have to put my computer in a slightly different place in order to have this solid background for my virtual screen. Pardon me. And so the place where I put it happens to be a place where the light is coming in front of me through the louvers, which is nice, but that's just coincidental. I do think the fact it's in a slightly different place makes this my Mishkan place, my Shabbat place. And but also, as someone else said, I'm sorry that I forgot who it was. Once I'm in the screen, I'm in Shabbat. I'm just in a different place. I'm not in any other place.
That was Carol Felixson, but yeah, that's great.
Thank you.
And anybody else want to share? All right. So last Shabbat was my first time leading the services, not being here on the Bima. And it felt like a very different experience. Like I just felt like I was in a house and not in the house of God. And it didn't have the same kind of special experience. And I realized I'm blessed that I get to be here in Mishkan on the Bima every Shabbat. And I have taken that for granted and realized that you all don't necessarily have the same experience. And yes, you may be able to see the Bima behind me when I'm here, but it's obviously not the same as being in a space that feels like where you can just feel it permeated with God. So anything that you can do if it feels like, I mean, this is the 4th month. It's been 4 months since we've had services in person. Right? March 7th, I think, was the last time we had services in person. That's a long time to go. And so if it's starting to feel like you're really missing having that holiness, I want to invite you to just think about how you can just treat the space where you join us a little different. Maybe it means you set up your Shabbat candles there, or maybe bring some photos of a family and people. Reb Mimi Feigelson, she would always light a ton of candles on Shabbat. It wasn't just 2 candles. She would light for all these other people who no longer could light candles and have that reminder of those people there with her. And so there are different things that we can do to try to make a space that we're in all the time feel different, at least for a couple hours a week. So just wanted to get you to think about how, right, you can still feel that sense of being in the house of God on Shabbat, even if you are in your own house. Because you do have God in you anyways. So you are in the house of God when you are in your own home. Yeah, Raj, you want to say something as well?
I have things in the house that I could put around, but mostly I'm just glad that the angle of the camera hides most of my clutter, so you all don't see it. But even aside from decluttering, it occurs to me that I could learn how to do wallpaper. Jerusalem scenes or something like that could be the wallpaper.
It could be. That'd be really cool.
So I could look at it while I was in the service, or at other times if I wanted to.
Yeah, I just blow up a nice photo of the kotel or whatever, and you can feel like you are standing there in front of it as well. That's great. All right, we're gonna continue. We're gonna continue on page 139 with Psalm 148. But I really appreciate everybody sharing your practices to help inspire us, ways that we can bring the holiness into the mundane in our own homes. Okay, and we're page 139. Hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah et Adonai min hashamayim. Hallelujah b'meromim. Hallelujah malachav. Hallelujah kol tziva'av. Hallelujah shemesh v'yareach. Hallelujah kol kochvei or. Hallelujah shemei hashamayim v'hamayim asher me'al hashamayim. Yehalelu et Shem Adonai ki hu tziva v'niva'u v'ya'amidem la'ad le'olam chok natan v'lo ya'avor. Yehalelu et Shem Adonai ki hu tziva v'niva'u v'ya'amidem la'ad le'olam chok natan v'lo ya'avor. Hallelujah. 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 Vayarim Karen Limalihi Halecho Hasidav Livnei Yisrael Karovo. Hallelujah. Page 141. Hallelujah. 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 Bekadsho. Hallelujah. Birkiyahuzo. Hallelujah. Vigvurotav. Hallelujah. Kirov gulo. Hallelujah. Beteka shofar. Hallelujah. Benevel vechinor. Hallelujah. 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 Tofu macho. Hallelujah. Beminim vugav. Hallelujah. Betzir tzalei shama. Hallelujah. Betzir tzalei tshuva. Kohan shama tehaleya. Kohan shama tehaleya. Hallelujah. 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 Baruch Hanai Le'olam Amen v'Amen. Baruch Hanai Mitzvah Shechin Yerushalayim. Hallelujah. Baruch Hanai Elohim Elohei Yisrael Eloseinu Niflo Levado V'Larach Shem Kavod Olam V'Yimalei Kavod Kol Haaretz. Amen v'Amen. Continue on page 145 with Nishmat. Page 145. Nishmat kol chai tivarech et shemcha Adonai Eloheinu v'ruach abasai tivarech. Nehallelcha nishbechecha nefarecha nevrech et shem kodshecha ka'amol davi barchi nafshi et Adonai v'chol koravai et shem kodsho. Page 147. Ha'el b'tatu zecha hagadol b'chvod shemecha hagibol nesach v'hano rabbenorotecha ha'melech ha'yoshev ha'kisei ram v'nisa. And Shochenad in the middle of page 147. Shochenad Marom v'kadosh shemo v'chatuv ranenu tzadikim b'Adonai la'yisharim nava tehila befi yisharim tithalal uvdivrei tzadikim titbarach uvilshon chasidim titromam uvekerev kedoshim titkadash yadadai yadadai dai 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 yamabai yadadai dai dai yam dai dai yadadai yadadai yadai dai yam dadadai yadadai yadadai Yadadai, yadadai, yadai, 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 yadadai, yadadai, yadai, yadai, yadadai, yadadai, yadai, yadai, David ben Yishai, Avdecha Meshichecha. Page 148. Yishtabach Shimcha La'ad Malkeinu Ha'el HaMelech V'Kadosh Hashamayim Uva'aretz Ki L'chana Elanaheinu Elahei Avotenu. Shir Ushvacha Halel Vezimra Ozu Memshala Netzach Gedula Ugvura Tehila V'Tiferet Kedusha U'Malchut Brachot V'Hodaot Me'ataviyad Olam. All our praise we sing unto you. Brachot v'hodaot me'ataviyad olam. All our praise we sing unto you. Shir u'shvacha halel ve'zimra ozu memshala netzach. Gedula u'gvura tehila v'tiferet Kedusha u'malchut brachot v'hodaot me'ataviyad olam. All our praise we sing unto you. Brachot v'hodaot me'ataviyad olam. All our praise we sing unto you. Baruch Atanai Melech Gadol b'tishbachot El ha'odaot Adon ha'niflaot Habocher b'shirei zimra Melech El Chei ha'olamim. Page 150, we bless over the new day. Baruch Atanai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Otzer or v'rei choshech Osei shalom u'vorei et hakol Hakol yiducha v'chol Hayala b'tech b'tech What's a in kirchecha nailehem v'elam hazeh v'yein zolcha malkeinu l'chayei halam ba efes b'tcha go'alenu mot Mashiach v'yein domeh lecha Moshiach l'tchiat hametim. Page 151. El Adon al kol hamasim baruch umvorach beficho neshama godo vetuvo malei olam da'at utvuna sovevim oto hamitga'el chayot hakodesh v'nedar bechavod al hamerchava zechut umishor lifnei chiso chesed v'rachamim lifnei kevodo Tovim me'orot shebara Eloheinu yitzaram beda'at bevina uvhaskel Koach ugvura natan bahem liot moshlim bekerev tevel Meleim zihiv umfikim nogana ezivam bechol ha'olam Semechim etzetam v'sasim bevoam Osim b'hema retzon konam Be'er v'chavod notnim lishmot Sola v'rina lezecher malchuto Kara l'shemesh v'yizrach or ra'a v'hitkin Tzurat havana Shevach notnim lo kol tzeva maharom tiferet ugedula Serafim v'yofanim v'chayot hakodesh Yamdai da dandai ya da dandai Yamdai di da dai yam da dam bam pai Yamdai di dandai dai da 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 dai dai Yamdai di da dai yam da da dai 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 Hi dai 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 Lehel asher Shabbat mikol hamasim b'yom hashvi'i hitala Tiparach sorenu chenu Page 153, 153, at the first of the red arrows. Kulam alvim, kulam birim, kulam giborim, v'kulam osim be'ema v'yirat ratzon konam, v'kulam potchim bebihem bitusha v'tohora, v'shira v'zimra, u'mfarchim u'mshafim, u'farim u'maritzim, u'makdishim u'mamlichim, et shem ha'el ha'melech, Hagadol, Hagibor, v'hanora kadosh hu, v'chulam mekalim alehem, O malchut shamayim ze mizeh, v'notnim reshut ze lazeh, lakdish l'sam benachat ruach, v'safa b'ra v'nima, kadosha kulam kechad, onim v'yomrim v'yira. Kadosh, 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 Adonai tzavaot, v'lo chol haaretz kivodo. Va'ofanim v'chayot hakodesh, b'rash gadol, mitnasim l'umat serafim, umatam b'shavchim v'yomrim, Baruch v'od Adonai mimkomo le'el baruch ima'iteinu l'melech poel gvod ha'sechel ma v'nachod z'retzach ma b'yichtishu v'refer v'naretiu l'Adonai v'od mechadesh Or chadash al Tzion ta'ir v'nizkechu lanu meheira le'oro Baruch ata Adonai yotzer ha'me'orot. Page 154, Ava Rabbah. Ava Rabbah avtanu Adonai Eloheinu Chem lagedol avitera Chamalta aleinu Avinu malkeinu Ba'avur avotenu Shebatchu v'cha Avinu malkeinu Vatilamdem chukei chaim Kein techonenu tlamdenu Avinu ha'av ha'rachaman Hamrachem rachem aleinu V'ten belibenu lehavin ulhaskil lishmoa lilmod ulelamed lishmor velasot ulekayem et kol divrei Talmud Toratecha b'ahava v'ha'ernenu b'toratecha v'dahabek libeinu b'mitzvotecha v'yached levavenu le'ahava u'lira et shmecha v'lo nevosh le'olam va'ed v'lo nevosh le'olam va'ed ki v'shem kodshecha hagadol hanora batachnu nagila v'nismecha Nagila v'nismecha v'shuatecha. So Thursday was 17th of Tammuz, which means we have begun the 3-week period leading up to Tisha B'Av. Tisha B'Av marks the destruction of the Temple Mount itself. But the 17th of Tammuz, which is a minor fast day, marks the breaching of the walls of Jerusalem. So the Roman army, who had laid siege to Jerusalem for years, they finally broke through the walls, and they began slaughtering people, just left and right. Any Jew in their sight was killed. An enormous percentage of the Jewish population of the time was wiped out, starting at this time of the year, and only concluded then with the capture of Temple Mount and the destruction of the temple itself. Some of the people who were killed in this time period, before the Roman army actually got to the Temple Mount, were the family of Kohanim who were responsible for making techelet, right? Techelet on the tzitzit. The recipe, the way of actually making techelet was a closely kept secret of one family of Kohanim or Levi'im. And when they were all slaughtered, this was lost to us for nearly 2,000 years. We had no idea how to do this. And thank God, modern science has enabled us to be able to recreate and figure out exactly how this was done. And so when we are saying the Shema, and if you have Techalet on your tzitzit, it's really kind of remarkable miracle that we have, that something that was lost and gone supposedly forever was able to be brought back to life. This idea of Techiyat HaMetim, of God helping bring back those who are dead, through our commitment, our perseverance, our curiosity, our intelligence, our constant seeking is what it was able to help us bring something back, something that we don't want to ever lose again. So we hold it very tightly, hold it very close to our chest, and hope and pray that we never lose this or other forms of knowledge, or people for that matter, to hate, to war ever again. So we're gathered at tzitzit, and if you have techalet, really hold on to it really tight, and to remember a family that was slaughtered this time of year nearly 2,000 years ago. We'll sing the Havienu, and then we'll go into the Shema. Havienu l'shalom me'arba kanfot ha'aretz, v'tolichenu k'miot li'artzenu ki el poel yeshuot ata, uvana v'acharta mikolam ve'lashon, v'kerov tanu shimcha hagadol sela be'emet, l'odot lecha yachedcha b'yahava, Baruch ata Adonai, habocher b'mo Yisrael b'yahava, El Melech Ne'eman. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, b'chol levavcha, u'b'chol nafshecha, u'b'chol me'odecha, v'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh, asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha, v'shinatam levanecha, v'dibarta bam, v'shivtecha b'veitecha, uv'lechtecha b'derech, uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha, uv'kshartam la'ot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot bein einecha, uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha. Vayahim shemot tishma'u el mitzvotai, asher anochi mitzaveh etchem hayom, lava et Adonai Elohechem, u'lavdo b'chol levavchem u'b'chol nafshechem, v'natati matar artzechem, b'ito yoreh u'malkosh, v'yasafta deganecha, v'tiroshecha v'yitzarecha, v'natati esev v'sadecha lehemtecha, v'yachalta v'savata, hishamruhu lachem, pen yifted levavchem, v'sartem, v'arvatem, Elohim acherim, v'hishachavitem lahem, v'ra'af Adonai bachem, v'atzar et hashamayim v'lo yeh matar, v'ha'adama lo titen et tivula, v'arvatem mehera, me'al ha'aretz ha'tova, asher Adonai noten lachem, v'samtem et divrei eleh, al levavchem v'al nafshechem, u'kshartem otam la'ot al yedchem, v'hayu letotafot bein einechem, v'martem otam et b'neihem l'daber bam, b'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha b'derech, uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha, uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha, leman yirbu yimechem v'imei b'nechem, al ha'adama asher nishba Adonai, l'avotechem l'teilehem, ki mei hashamayim al ha'aretz. Vayomer Adonai el Moshe lemor, daber el b'nei Yisrael v'marta alehem, v'asu lahem tzitzit, al kanfei b'neihem l'dorotam, v'natnuhu al tzitzit, hakanaf v'tzil techelet, v'yalachem l'tzitzit, uritem oto, uzkartem ekol mitzvot Adonai, v'asitem otam, v'lo taturu acharei levavchem v'acharei einechem, asher atem zonim achareihem, leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai, v'item kedoshim le'elohechem, ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, liot lachem l'Elohim, ani Adonai Elohechem. Page 157. L'dor v'dor hu kayam u'shmo kayam v'kiso nachon machato v'emato liad kayamet v'nurav chayim v'kayamim nemarim l'chradim l'ad l'olei olamim kisim release tzitzit al avotenu v'aleinu v'lavotenu hemem v'mechoch v'lo yavor Emet shatahu n'ai Eloheinu v'Elahei avotenu malkinu melech avotenu goleinu goel avotenu yotzenu tzor shortenu podenu matzalenu melam shemecha Ein Elohim zulatecha Ezrat avotenu atahu me'olam Magin Moshe Eloheim l'achrein Dor v'dor Baruch Emet u'adon Emet tahur Moshe Medot We're about to get to the Amidah. We're on page 158. We're about to say Micha Mocha. But before we do, was there anybody who wanted to lead us in the Amidah? Shachrit Amidah. Nobody? No takers? Okay. All right. So I will continue. If anybody wants to do anything next week, please email me. You can email me after Shabbat, during the week. Just let me know. I'd love to have other people participate and help lead us. We're on page 158, the first of the red arrows. Tehilo le'elyon baruch hu umvorach Moshe uvnei Yisrael lecha anu shira ve'simcha rabba ve'amru chulam mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai Mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh nura tehilot osefele shira chadasha shibchu geulim leshimcha al sefat chayam yachad kulam hoduvim lichu ve'amru Adonai yimloch Le'olam va'ed Yam dai di dai 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 Yam di dai 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 Tzor Yisrael kuma be'ezrat Yisrael Uvtechnu mecha Yehuda v'Yisrael Go aleinu Adonai tzavaot shemo Kedosh Yisrael Baruch atah Adonai Gal Israel Adonai Sifatai tiftach ufi agi tehilatecha Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon Gomer Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot, U'mevi Goel Livnei B'neihem, L'ma'an Shemo B'Yahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch Ata Adonai Magen Avraham, Ata gibor le'olam Adonai, mechayim eitim ata Rav Oshia, mechalkel chayim bechesed, mechayim eitim berachamim rabim, zomech noflim v'rofei cholim, umatir asurim, umekayim emunato, lishenei afar, michamocha ba'al gevurot, Umido melach, melech memit umechaye, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'neman ata lechayot metim, Baruch ata Adonai, mechaye ha-metim. Page 162. Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kdoshoyim b'choyim haluch hasela, Baruch ata Adonai, ha'el ha-kadosh. Yismach Moshe b'matnat chelko ki even ne'eman karata lo כי אבן נאמן, כי אבן נאמן, כי אבן נאמן קראת לו. כליל כליל תפארת, תפארת, בראשו נתת, ועומדו לפניך, על הר סיני. ישמח ישמח משה, במתנת חלקו, כי אבן נאמן, כי אבן נאמן, כי אבן נאמן קראת לו. כי אבן נאמן, כי אבן נאמן, כי אבן נאמן קראת לו. ושני לוחות אבנים הוריד בידו, וכתוב בהם שמירת שבת, שמירת שבת. ישמח ישמח משה, במתנת חלקו, כי אבן נאמן, כי אבן נאמן, כי אבן נאמן קראת לו. כי אבן נאמן, כי אבן נאמן, כי אבן נאמן קראת לו. וכן כתוב בתורתך, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, וביום השביעי שבת וינפש. לא נתתו אדוני אלוהינו לגויי הארצות, לגויי הארצות, ולא הנחלתו מכנו לעובדי פסלים, לעובדי פסילים. גם במנוחתו לא ישכנו הרעלים, כי לישראל עמך נתת באהבה, לזרע יעקב אשר בם בחרת, אשר בם בחרת. מקדשי שביעי, כולם ישבעו ויתענגו מטובך, והשביעי רצית בו וקידשתו. חמדת ימים אותו קראת, זכר למעשה בראשית, זכר למעשה בראשית. אלוהינו אלוהי אבותינו, רצה במנוחתנו, קדשנו במצוותיך, ותן חלקנו בתורתך. סבנו מטובך, ושמחנו בישועתך, וטהר ליבנו לעובדך באמת, והנחילנו אדוני אלוהינו באהבה וברצון, שבת קודשך וינוחו בישראל, מקדשי שמך. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu b'yamcha Yisrael tfilatam v'ashevet abodedi be'bertecha Yishei Yisrael utfilatam b'abat g'bel rotzon utfilatam tamid avodat Yisrael ahamecha v'techazei enenu b'shuvcha l'tzon b'rachamim Baruch atah Adonai hamachazir shchinato l'tzion Modim anachnu lach shatahu Adonai Eloheinu b'olam v'tayim l'olam va'ed Tzur chayim magin shem tu'adatat hu l'dor v'dor Nordel chanus piltetecha, al chayim hamsir decha v'yani shvotin habedalach, v'yani secha shapol yom emanu v'yavim tevatecha v'tavetecha v'shvot 8, erev boker v'tzorahim, hatov kilo kachanacha, v'rachem kilo tamuchas lecha me'olam kivinu lach. V'yav kulam yivarach v'chomam shem kama kenu tamid l'olam va'ed, v'chol achayim ducha sela v'al leshem echa bevet, ha'el shorten v'ezratenu sela, Baruch atah Adonai. Hatov Shemcha Lacha Ne'el Hodot. Sim Shalom Tova Uvracha Ba'olam. Sim Shalom Tova Uvracha. Chen v'chesed v'rachamim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael amecha. Varcheinu avinu kulanu ke'echad v'yor panecha. Sim Shalom tova uvracha ba'olam. Sim Shalom tova uvracha. Kivor panecha natata lanu Adonai Eloheinu Torat chaim ve'avat chesed u'tzdaka u'bracha ve'rachamim ve'chaim ve'shalom. Sim Shalom tova u'bracha ba'olam. Sim Shalom tova u'bracha. V'tov be'einecha levarech et amecha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שים שלום טובה וברכה בעולם. שים שלום טובה וברכה. ברוך אתה אדוני המברך את עמו ישראל בשלום. אלוהי נצור ראשוני מרע ושטחי מרבה מרמה. וכלכלני שום תדום בנפשי כפר לכל תהיה. פתח לי בתורתך ומצוותיך תרדוף נפשי. וכל החושבים עלי רעה מהרה הפרצתם ככה מחשבתם. עשה למען שמך, עשה למען נמך, עשה למען קדושתך, עשה למען תורתך, למען ירצון ידך. הושיע ימינך יענני, יהיו רצון אמרי ויגון ליבי לפניך, עיני צורי ודור על בי. עושה שלום ברמיו, הוא יעשה שלום, עלינו וכל ישראל ויאמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. הוא עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. So Shabbat Shalom, everybody. It's been nice having some nice conversations leading up to this point. So this Shabbat is Shabbat Pinchas. Shabbat Pinchas has a bunch in here. We have the story of Pinchas, which I'll talk about a bit later, and that's the majority of. Well, we're going to be reading all that story from the Chumash today. We also have Moses being told, "You're not going to go into the land of Israel, so why don't you come to this mountain and take a quick look at where you're not going to be going?" And while we're also at it, let's assign a new a successor for you. And this is where Moses passes on leadership to Yehoshua. We also have the story of Zelophehad's daughters, the 5 daughters who challenge the inheritance rights, the inheritance laws, and say it doesn't seem fair that if a man were to die and doesn't have any sons, that he just loses the land. And right, the daughters bring their petition to Moses, who brings it to God, and God says, yeah, let's change the law. So there's a lot going on in here. And then the very end of the parsha, we have all the different korbanot, all the different offerings that are made for the daily offerings, and on Shabbat, and on Rosh Chodesh, and on the different chagim. And it's that bit of the Torah that we read all the time. So we read that on Rosh Chodesh. We read that on Yantif. We read from Pinchas a lot. It's actually the section of the Torah that is read the most from any other section of Torah, which is why we normally read that out of Louis Snay's scroll. And it's really difficult to be celebrating Shabbat in and of itself without being able to read from the Torah, but having this really special Torah that was saved from the Shoah and repaired and being able to read from again makes for this, it's this kind of bittersweet experience, knowing that we have it, but we can't actually read from it. So I hope you'll all be okay with me doing so. I'm going to go to the Ark. I'm going to take out Louis' scroll. I'm going to place it on the shulchan next to me. Not going to read from it because we're not reading from the Torah without a minyan present, but just so it's kind of here with us for Shabbat, because it seems a real shame for this to be the first Shabbat Pinchas since it's been repaired to not actually be able to read from. So I'll be right back as I remove the Sefer Torah. It's nice to be able to have this with us, even if we're not actually able to read from it. And to be able to keep the memory of all those who perished from the village and have them all here with us as we read the Shabbat Pinchas. The Torah reading is posted to the website, so if you didn't have a chance to be able to grab that, or if you're just reading from a Chumash, we are in the book of Numbers, in Bamidbar. We're chapter 25, starting at verse 10. So chapter 25, verse 10. And for Cindy's sake, I'll say that one more time. Chapter 25, verse 10. It's the first year of triennial, so we're reading at the very beginning of Parshat Pinchas. Vaydaber Adonai el Moshe lemor, Pinchas ben Elazar, ben Aaron hakohen, heshivet chamati me'al b'nei Yisrael, bekan'o et kniati b'tocham, v'lo kaliti et b'nei Yisrael, bekinati, lachen emor, hine noten lo et briti shalom. So this is God saying to Moses, your great nephew, Pinchas, the son of Eleazar, who is the son of Aaron, right? He took care of my anger amongst the people. The people at the very end of Parshat Balak last week were prostituting themselves and sleeping with the Moabite women and bowing down to their idols, sacrificing to their idols, and God was very upset. God killed 24,000 people, but Pinchas stopped that practice, and therefore God is very happy with Pinchas. and God has now created this Brit Shalom, a covenant of peace with Pinchas for his zealotry in defending God. Pretty short aliyah. The second aliyah, and again, I'm going to be speaking more about this exchange, this story, in a little bit. The second aliyah is verse 13. Verse 13. Vayta lo lizaro acharav brit kahunat olam tachat asher kinei lohav v'chaper al bnei Yisrael v'shem ish Yisrael hamukeh asher huka et hamidyanit Zimri ben Sula Salu Nasi Beit Av Lishimoni V'Shem Ha'isha Hamuka Hamidyanit Kozbi Bat Sur Rosh Umot Beit Av Midyanhu. So here we're just learning about who are the two people who are the victims of Pinchas's attack. And the first person was Zimri ben Salu. Interestingly, I can't remember who the commentator was. One of the rabbis comments here, when we have the story of this Israelite man bringing a Midianite woman before Moses and then both being killed by Pinchas, we're not given their names, just that there's this Israelite and this Midianite woman. And here we're given their names. It's Zimri ben Salu, who is the chief of the Shimonites, and then this woman, Cosbi, Bat Sur, who is her father. She was a princess of Midian. And when the commentators are saying that their identity is protected until they are found guilty and the punishment is meted out to them, as a way of kind of showing that when people are being accused but not actually found guilty, we want to respect their privacy and their identity and protect them. But here we're very much given their names. But again, it's a little strange because it's, these are two, elevated people. Zimri ben Salu, he's the chief of the Shimonites. It's a big deal for this person being the one who's killed amongst all the people. But again, I'll speak a bit more about that in a little bit. Again, just as we've done the last few weeks, anybody has any questions or comments at any point during this little interstitial parts, please feel free to unmute yourself and ask away or comment away. Okay. So we're on the third aliyah. This is verse 16. Vaydaber Adonai el Moshe lemor, tzarur et hamidyanim, v'hikitam otam, ki tzurim hem lachem, b'nichlechem, asher nichlu lachem al dvar peor, v'al davar kozbi, bat nasi midyan achotam, hamuka b'yom ha'magaifa al dvar peor, v'hi achrei ha'magaifa, v'yomer Adonai el Moshe ve'el Elazar ben Aaron HaKohen lemor, Se'u et rosh kol adat b'nei Yisrael mibein 20 shana v'mala lebeit avotam kol yotzei tzava b'Yisrael v'yidaber Moshe ve'Elazar HaKohen otam barvot Moav al Yarden Yerecho lemor mibein 20 shana v'mala Kasher tziva Adonai et Moshe uvnei Yisrael hayotzim me'eretz Mitzrayim. Okay, so we have two different things happening in this aliyah. One is God is saying to Moses, just make sure that you continue to trouble, to give tzarur to the Midianites on account of things that they've done to you. Including with this woman Cosby. And then we have the second bit, which is God telling Moses to speak to Elazar that they are to take another census of the Israelites, of all men of military age 20 and above. And here it says this is all men who went out from Egypt. Right? So this is not all those who are going in to Israel, but all those who went out from Egypt. And what's interesting is here it says, this is the second census we had. We had a census at the very beginning of the book of Numbers. There it was count all men by their names, by their ancestral houses, by tribes, ancestral house, and by name. And here it's just by their ancestral house, not necessarily by name. And so what we're saying is the first time we're seeing that every single person, every single individual, their names really matter. And here we just really want kind of a rough estimate. It's, they're just little tiny differences, and the rabbis go into why that may or may not be. I'll give you a hint. It has something to do with the way that the land is divided up. And they're not necessarily concerned about the actual individual people, but more about just how are we going to be dividing up the parcels of land to all the different people, and let them worry about how they divide it amongst their families. But we just care about the larger clans and tribes. Rena, you want to say something?
Are these the same Midianites that are Moshe's in-laws?
They are the same Midianites. I'm gonna explain a bit more about that later. But it's but in short, it seems like the Midianites were they were not necessarily attached to any land, so they may have been a migrant people, and so it could be the same tribe or it could be a different group of Midianites. But depending on where they were and who they may be allied with, they we have different relationships with them. So, okay. So we're on to the fourth Aliyah. Fourth Aliyah, we are chapter 26, verse 5. Chapter 26, verse 5. Reuven bechor Yisrael, b'nei Reuven, chanoch mishpachat hachanochi, lefalu mishpachat haflui, lechetzron mishpachat hachetzroni, lekarmi mishpachat hakarmi, ela mishpachot haruveni, vayu pekudehem, shalosh v'arbaim elef, ushva me'ot ushloshim, uvnei falu Eliav, uvnei Eliav, Nemuel v'datan uvnei Eliav, Nemuel v'datan v'aviram, hudatan v'aviram, kri'ei ha'eda, asher hitzu, al Moshe ve'Aaron ba'adat Korach, b'hatzotam al Adonai, v'tiftach ha'aretz et piha, v'tivla otam, ve'et Korach b'mot ha'eda, v'ochal ha'esh, et 50 u'matayim ish, v'ayu lanes, uvnei Korach lo metu. So here we're given the first group of people that we're counting. We have the Reubenites, and we're given the names of them and the count of them. And then here we have, from within this group, we have Datan and Aviram. And if we remember, Datan and Aviram and On, right, they're the ones who joined with Korach in his rebellion. And the whole rebellion was based on, they think that birth order should play more of a role than it actually was playing at the time. So Datan and Aviram were, these leaders of this rebellion, and they died along with others, but not necessarily their children. And here it says that the children of Korach did not die. Uvnei Korach lo metu. So there's some people who died, but not necessarily all of Korach's descendants, which may or may not be foreshadowing of things of strife to come in future years. Here we have the fifth Aliyah, chapter 26, verse 12. Fifth Aliyah, verse 12. B'nei Shimon mishpachotam lenumiel mishpachat hanumeali leyamin mishpachat hayamini leyachin mishpachat hayachini lezerach mishpachat hazarchi leshaul mishpachat hashauli Ele mishpachot Hashimoni shnayim ve'esrim elef umatayim בני גד למשפחותם לצפון משפחת הצפוני לחגי משפחת החגי לשוני משפחת השוני לאוזני משפחת האוזני לארי משפחת הארי לערוד משפחת הערודי לאריאל האראלי משפחת האראלי אלה משפחות בני גד לפקודיהם 40,500 בני יהודה ואונן וימות ואונן בארץ כנען והיו בני יהודה למשפחותם sorry, there's a lot of construction and banging. I don't know if you guys can hear it. לשלה משפחת השלני לפרץ משפחת פרצי לזרח משפחת הזרחי והיו בני פרץ לחצרון משפחת החצרוני לחמול משפחת החמולי אלה משפחות יהודה לפקודיהם 76,500. Now, if you're paying close attention, you'll actually see that there are two families that go by the name of Zarchi, the Zarchites. So you have a Zerach, who is the son of Yehuda, or the son of Peretz. No, the son of Yehuda. And then you also have a Zerach, who is the son of Shimon. So it can get kind of confusing, but so you have the Shimonite Zarchites, and then you have the Judites, the Judean Zarchites. Okay, yeah, we're just getting a bunch of names and a bunch of numbers. And notice we're not getting individual numbers of all the individual families. We're just getting we're getting the names of all the individual families, but just the numbers of the overall tribe. So that's kind of what the rabbis were talking about. We're not getting real as detailed as we got at the very beginning of Bamidbar. So they really just care about the total number of people within a tribe. And then what happens is the tribe that has more people will get more land allotted to them, and then the chieftain of the tribe will figure out how to divide it amongst themselves. And a tribe that has fewer people will get less land allotted to them. Okay. The sixth aliyah is verse 23, chapter 26, verse 23. B'nei Yisachar l'mishpachotam tola mishpachat ha-tola'i Puva Mishpachat Hapuni Leyashuv Mishpachat Hayeshuvi Leshimron Mishpachat Hashimoni Ela Mishpachot Yisachar Lepudehem Arba Veshishim Elef Ushalosh Meot B'nei Zvulun Lemishpachotam Lesered Mishpachat Hasardi Velon Mishpachat Eloni Leyachleel Mishpachat Hayachleeli Ele Mishpachot Hazvuluni Lepugehem 60,500 Bnei Yosef Lemishpachotam Menashe ve'Ephraim Bnei Menashe Lemachir Mishpachat Hamachari Umachir Holid et Gilad Legilad Mishpachat Hagiladi Ele b'nei Gilad, Iezer, Mishpachat Iezri, Lechelek Mishpachat Achelki, Ve'asriel, Mishpachat Asrieli, Ve'shechem Mishpachat Hashchimi, Ushmida Mishpachat Hashmidai, Ve'chefer Mishpachat Hachefri, Utzlof Chad ben Chefer Lo hayu lo banim ki im banot V'shem benot Utzlof Chad Mochla benoah Chogla milka v'tirtza Ela mishpachot Menashe Ufkudehem Shnayim V'chamishim Elef u'shva me'ot. So again, just more families, more names. The only thing that's a little interesting here, well, it's all interesting. The only thing that should really grab our attention is that we have they make note of Tzlopchad and the fact that he had no sons. In fact, it just has 5 daughters. And we're actually given all 5 daughters' names, which is more than you can say for a lot of the other families where there are sons. We don't even get those sons' names. But we want to make sure we know about Tzlopchad and his daughters because it'll play a role in the very near future. Okay. Any questions before we get to the 7th and final aliyah here? Yeah, Carol. You have to unmute yourself.
So, I've been thinking about, so why is this all so important and why do we go through this long list? And it's so striking how much it is about economic justice in a way that these folks are getting land. Land is sustenance, land is well-being, land is the opportunity to make a living. So it seems to me, reading it this time, that it's really, and in light of the protests that we've been seeing, that there's really a strong drive here towards economic justice.
I would definitely agree. I mean, so much of, tzedek tirdof, right? So much of the Torah is about justice, and it's about establishing a just society, right? That we are concerned about those who are orphaned, those who are widowed, those who are foreigners who are living amongst us, because those are the people who are most vulnerable in society. And we want to make sure that those people aren't oppressed, that when people feel they have no other options, they turn to any means possible to survive, which can often lead to illegal or unethical behavior, which then becomes more of a strain on an economy. So if we establish something where nobody feels that they are treated unjustly, then a lot of the other problems that may present in a society should not technically present themselves. And so here, if you had a bunch of daughters and and they're not given any land, and those daughters may have sons of their own, like there's going to be a big complaint, like what happens? Why don't we actually have our own land? It doesn't seem fair. And who knows what those sons might resort to try to get justice. And we see what happens in our society where people are born into difficult circumstances and they're not given the same opportunities that other people are given, and they're treated unfairly, and they are targeted constantly for the same acts that plenty of other people do but aren't targeted for. And it just leads them to behaviors that put more of a strain on our economy. And so the Torah, in theory, is trying to help us avoid things like that. But it is all. It is religion, it is sociology, it is economics, it is government. Everything is wrapped up into this one document, which is why it's so difficult to pin on us any one label. Are we a religion? Are we a people? Are we a race? But yeah, there's definitely a lot of economic justice going on here. Any other questions, comments, thoughts before we move on to the 7th final aliyah? Okay. So we are at verse 35. Verse 35. Ele b'nei Ephraim l'mishpachotam l'shutelach mishpachat ha-shutalchi l'becher mishpachat ha-bachri l'tachan mishpachat ha-tachani ve'ele b'nei shutalach l'Eran mishpachat ha'erani Ela mishpachot b'nei Ephraim lepekudehem shnayim ushloshim elef v'chamesh me'ot Ele b'nei Yosef lemishpachotam b'nei Binyamin lemishpachotam lebela mishpachat ha-bal'i la'ashbel mishpachat ha'ashbeli la'achiram mishpachat achrami L'shvufam mishpachat hashufami, l'hufam mishpachat hachufami, v'ayu b'nei Bala Arad v'Naaman, mishpachat ha'ardi Ha'adi l'Naaman mishpachat Hanami Ela b'nei Binyamin l'mishpachotam ופרודיהם 45,600 אלה בני דן למשפחותם לשוהם משפחת השוחמי אלה משפחות דן למשפחותם כל משפחות השוחמי לפקודיהם 64,400 בני אשר למשפחותם לימנע משפחת הימנע לישבי משפחת הישבי לבריאה משפחת הבריאי לבני בריאה לחבר משפחת החברי למלכיאל משפחת המלכאלי לשם בת אשר שרח. Nice. אלה משפחות בני אשר לפקודיהם 53,400 בני נפתלי למשפחותם ליחצאל משפחת היחצלי לגוני משפחת הגוני ליצר משפחת היצרי לשילי משפחת השלמי אלה משפחות הנפתלי למשפחותם ופקודיהם 45,400 אלה פקודי בני ישראל 600,730. All right, so here we get the, one second. So here we finally get the total count of all these Israelites. Again, we're leaving out the Levites. The Levites were left out of the first count, and that came to about 603,000. And here we have 601,730. So our number is actually a little bit smaller. We had some people, get older and become fighting age, but we also had a lot of people killed by various plagues in the time since the first count as well. So there we go, the final number. And the one thing I said, like, ooh, that's kind of interesting, was that we had the name of Asher's daughters. Right? We had only one kind of clan head that was female that was mentioned, Sarach. But again, we're not given anything about her children or any numbers for her, but just the fact that Asher even had a daughter. Again, which is more than we can say for any of the other tribes, where we know they probably did have daughters, but only Sarach was the one who was worth mentioning. Very, very, very important to stress the quotes around that word worth. Rena, what you wanted to say something here?
Yeah, I got a question about Dan.
Sure.
We got all these huge numbers, or some numbers, but Dan has one of the biggest numbers and only one clan, one child. I'm a little, I don't know if this is reality or if they did this in order, if they put it in here to justify certain inheritance lands. It doesn't seem real. It seems manipulative.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, obviously I don't know anything about these various clans within the tribes.
Well, there's no commentary on this then.
There may very well. I just haven't looked at it. It hasn't struck me, but I mean, you could have, one son, or you could have other sons that maybe were killed or died or whatever, and you have one son who survived, but
the numbers are huge. I mean, if you go through and look at all the other descendants of Jacob, almost none of them have as many people, and yet they have many more sons.
So if you think about a lot of the Eastern European Jews who came to America, let's say even before the First War, right? So as a result of all the pogroms, so a lot of the Jews who were here, Eastern European Jews who were here early 1900s, many of them, obviously not all, but many of them tended to have smaller families. They kind of fell into the American model where you may have 2.5 children on average, maybe they have a little bit more children, but what you see a lot of is people who lost a lot of their family in the Shoah, who stayed in Europe until the Shoah and lost a lot of family. They then left, whether they came to the States or if they went to Israel. Oftentimes those families wind up having tons of children. Not always, but you'll see families where they have a lot of children, 15 children. And so it could be, again, I am hypothesizing here, it could be that maybe you have this one son where he and his descendants survive and the others don't, and so they decide they are going to make up more than for the loss of the family, and they wind up having a whole bunch of children. Who knows? I mean, that would be my own hypothesis, and I don't. David, have you ever looked into that in any of your reading? Maybe he's no, never looked at it. Okay, Judy, have you ever looked into that?
No, but I have a question. In all of the prior census, it's men, only men, and generally men of military age. This one mentions women. Does that mean it's including all of the women? Because if so, it would account for I think a more realistic number, taking into context rather that all of the 25,000 people that died recently and in the Korach rebellion. And so I'm wondering, does it say anything about that?
Well, no, it says they are to take account of all men fighting age 20 years and older. So from the very outset, it says that. But if we notice, when we're given the names of Tzlopchad's daughters, we're not necessarily given a count of more than that. It's just kind of mentioning them. And even with Sarach, we're not given a count of her family. It's just the fact that she exists. But the other thing is that what we don't read, but if we were to continue reading the Parsha, which will come next, is that this is actually not just a census for war, which is actually what the first census was for. They really want to know how many soldiers do we have. The comment is that this census is specifically for dividing the land. And if that's the case, if you are someone like Asher and you have a daughter, and that daughter may have a lot of people within her clan, even though we're not given that number, because it doesn't really make a difference how many, because we actually don't get any numbers of the actual families themselves, the clans. We're only given the number of the tribe. When Asher is given his allotment, or the tribe of Asher is given their allotment, right, they probably have to take into account the fact that there is this daughter, Sarach, who maybe has a lot of people within that family. And they want to make sure that the land is doled out to her descendants as well. But the others, families, for whatever reason, the women aren't necessarily counted. But if there's I imagine there's got to be some reason why Sarach is included in this as well. I just have never seen any commentary written on that, or on the conversation about the Shuchamites in the tribe of Dan. So, but it's a lot of names and a lot of weird names. So if anybody, Peter, you've got a new grandson. If they're looking for a good Hebrew name for the little boy when they're ready to bring him out of the NICU and give him a Brit Milah and a Hebrew name, you've got a whole bunch of names you can choose from here. And a lot of names that we never see them being used, but there are a lot of good Jewish names there. We're gonna pause for a Misha Berach. Speaking of a little baby boy sitting there in the NICU, we're gonna pause for Misha Berach. So again, if there's anybody in your life in need of some healing this Shabbat, just feel free to unmute yourself and just put your hand up by your face, and I'll just call on you to share their names in time. Misha Berach Avotenu Abraham Yitzchak Yaakov V'imotenu Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah Hu Yivarech v'Yafeh et HaCholim. So, Rina?
Elkabela bat Hadassah, Chana bat Aliza, Avram bat Ben Aliza, Chana Rivka bat Tovaleah, Elimelech ben Sarah, Candace Shikai, and Larry Lynch.
Carol Felix?
My aunts Hope and Flora, and friends Amy, Rick, and Lois.
Great. Kevin?
Malgosha, my lovely wife.
Peter.
My daughter Laura, who is recovering from childbirth, and her little son, as I mentioned earlier, Ellis. I can't remember his middle name now, but it'll come to me. And he will, as I said, be in the NICU for a few weeks. But he had a good APGAR score, if you know what that is, and seems to be doing well.
Speaking of important women in history, good APGAR score there. David Stein.
My nephew, Ariel Ben Bracha.
Ben Bracha. Frederica, did you have your hand up?
My father, Fred Martin, and our members, Bruce and Jill Culver.
Carol Stein, did you have your hand up?
Yes, Meade Martin and Ariel Ben Bracha.
Michelle?
My nephew, Michael Goldberg, and our friend Jean, of course, who Rena mentioned, and Andy is on IC. And I wonder if it's possible to bench Gomel, even though we're not doing Aliot, for Andy is back from a big trip.
That is a absolutely wonderful question. I don't see why it would be problematic just to say a blessing for healing in that regard. Andy, I would ask. We'll do that in a moment. But if you'll also let us know what happened when we get there. Any other names for Misha Berach before? Continue here. Okay. So Lavinia bat Leah and Chana Rivka bat Tova Leah, Yehudit bat Esther, Yosef ben Rivka, Moshe Yafe ben Rachel, Raphael ben Chemda, Gior ben Safra, Avraham ben Eliyahu, Kineret bat Zipporah, Chana bat Nomi, Rivka Esther bat Ita, and Hanolad Leora, and Carly Ryback. Kadosh Baruch Hu, Yimalei Rachamim Aleihem, Lachzikam Rapatam Mishlach Lehem Mehera Shlema Min Hashemayim, Refuat HaNefesh Ufat HaGuf, B'toch Shar HaCholim, V'chazek Et Yedei Oskim B'tzorchechem, Shabbat Him L'tzok Ufra Krova Lavo, Hashav Glav Zman Kariv, V'nomar Amen. A full and speedy recovery to all those, and let us say Amen. And Andy, so you can bench Gomel for us. I'm gonna paskin al regal achad. I'm standing on one foot. I'm gonna say you're just saying a bracha. It's not necessarily incumbent upon being at the Torah. So
okay,
and we'll bless.
All right. So so I'm back from a month-long trip across America. Basically, I went as far as Fargo because that's as far as you can go, and came back by way of Kansas City and. Finally have seen all 50 states, and I'm back safely, which is a huge blessing. And I happened to mention to Michelle also, and I don't know if this is worth Gomel, but as I was walking back from returning the rental car this morning, I was threatened by a guy on the street who said he was going to stab me in the neck, and he did not, but I'm okay. And he was carrying like a wooden dowel that kind of looked like a pencil. So I don't think it was going to do me any serious harm, but it was still very scary. And that was in like downtown Santa Monica. So anyway, yeah. So two things to bench Gomel for, I guess.
Right.
So
whenever you are ready, please.
I don't actually know it in Hebrew, so maybe you can coach me through it.
I'll tell you what.
Oh, okay. I just can't read it. The lettering is very strange.
I'm sorry. So you're gonna say it's Baruch Atah.
Baruch Atah Adonai.
Eloheinu melech haolam.
Eloheinu melech haolam.
Hagomel lechayavim.
Hagomel lechayavim.
Tovot.
Tovot.
Shigamalani.
Shigamalani.
Kol tov.
Kol tov.
And we all say, Amen. Mi shigamalcha kol tov, hu yingalcha kol tov, Selah. And right, so the one who has shown favor to you, continue to show favor to you. And we're glad made it out of both of those circumstances. Driving cross country can be, terrifying, especially during COVID. But being threatened to be stabbed in the neck right here in our neighborhood is really, truly terrifying. So
Yeah.
glad
Yeah. So thank you.
Cool. And I'm glad that you're back because I actually want to speak with you this week.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a call about high holidays this week.
Great. Perfect.
Right. Tov. Okay. So I'm glad that you're good. And Michelle, thank you for letting us know about that. So I'm going to share a little bit of Torah with you guys while we're in this mindset. So we began the Torah portion. I was saying before the story of Pinchas. And it's a little strange. It seems very disjointed. Like, why all of a sudden are we starting here with God telling us that God's happy with Pinchas? Why doesn't it start just 8 verses earlier at the very end of Parshat Balak? I actually don't have an answer for that. It's not really, it doesn't really make much sense. But I want to read to you all this story of what was going on. So we have a sense of this story. And Raz, I know you missed the first half of learning on Tuesday, so some of this will be new to you as well. So we're going back to Book of Numbers, chapter 25, the very beginning of chapter 25. And if you recall, we started at verse 10. So this is going to be we're going to see the first 10 verses and then a few more coming into this week's parsha. So it says, while Israel was staying at Shittim, the people profaned themselves by whoring with the Moabite women, who invited the people to the sacrifices for their God. The people partook of them and worshipped that God. Thus Israel attached itself to Baal Peor, and Adonai was incensed with Israel. Adonai said to Moses, take all the ringleaders and have them publicly impaled before Adonai, so that Adonai's wrath may turn away from Israel. So Moses said to Israel's officials, each of you slay those of his men who attached themselves to Baal Peor. Just then, one of the Israelites came and brought a Midianite woman over to his companions in the sight of Moses and of the whole Israelite community. By the way, the whole Israelite community means the Sanhedrin. Again, whenever we see this idea of the Israelite community, it's not all of Bnei Yisrael. It's going to be like the Sanhedrin, the leaders here. And so brought this Midianite woman over in the sight of Moses and the whole Israelite community, who were weeping at the entrance of the tent of meeting. When Pinchas, the son of Eleazar, son of Aaron, the priest, saw this, he left the assembly, and taking a spear in his hand, he followed the Israelite into the chamber and stabbed both of them, the Israelite and the woman, through the belly. Then the plague against the Israelites was checked. Those who died of the plague numbered 24,000. Adonai spoke to Moshe, saying, Pinchas, son of Eleazar, son of Aaron, the priest, has turned back my wrath from the Israelites by displaying among them his passion for me, so that I did not wipe out the Israelite people in my passion. Say therefore, I grant my pact of friendship. It shall be for him and his descendants after him a pact of priesthood for all time, because he took impassioned action for his God, thus making expiation for the Israelites. The name of the Israelite who was killed, the one who was killed with a Midianite woman, was Zimri, son of Salu, chieftain of a Shemonite ancestral house. The name of the Midianite woman who was killed was Cosbi, daughter of Tsur. He was the tribal head of an ancestral house in Midian. Okay. So, any questions about this before we continue? Before I kind of explain a little bit? Anybody just have any questions about the context of this?
Well, obviously the worry is about vigilante justice. And the question is, can you argue that he saved more lives by stopping it early or not?
All right, so obviously he did stave off the plague that was already killed 24,000, and who knows how many more it would have killed. So there's a big question, is the Torah advocating for vigilante justice here or not? And also there's a big question that here the command was to, against the Moabites, and here all of a sudden this guy brings in a Midianite, and it seems a little strange. Well, Moabites and Midianites, they're different people. It seems a little strange that these people would be punished for this. So let's understand exactly what was really happening here. And for this, we want to turn to Sforno. And Sforno explains to us, when it says that the people were whoring themselves out with the Moabites, it says originally there had been no intention of committing idolatrous acts at all. All that the males had intended was to indulge their libido with the womenfolk who made themselves available. However, these people fell victim to precisely the warnings of the Torah of what would happen if Jews would allow the Canaanites to remain in the country and conclude a covenant with them. They would be invited to their social gatherings, resulting in their eating forbidden foods, and eventually intermarriage followed by lip service to the gods, to their gods. And he goes on to explain that this was a classic demonstration of how the evil urge works. First suggesting minor infraction of Torah law, and then gradually suggesting major sins. So what we see here is this slippery slope. Right? The Israelites were commanded, we were given a choice, not really a choice, but we were commanded. When you go into the land, you want to kill all of the Canaanites. You got to kill them all. We have to commit genocide. And if you don't kill them all, they will forever remain a thorn in your side. This is God's words to us. So we don't kill them all. We spare plenty of Canaanites. And what happens is we, live side by side with them, and then we start interacting with them. And you might have some drinks with them. And when you're having some drinks with them, then it turns into having a meal with them. And then you're really nice and drunk around the meal table, and somebody says, hey, maybe I should marry my daughter off to your son. And they say, yeah, sounds great. And then everybody gets married, and then they have these relationships, and the daughter, who was raised as a pagan, she's like, well, you can't make me leave my idols. That was the life that I grew up with. Like, please, just let me hold on to them. And the son says, okay, fine. The husband says, fine, just you keep them, but keep them over in your quarters. I don't want to see them, and don't tell the children about it, and yada yada. And of course, one day she's like, please, why don't you just come in here? Please, just, as the rabbis actually tell us, one of the ways of worshiping Baal Peor was to defecate in front of an idol of Baal Peor. And the men didn't necessarily know that that's what was happening. Yes, Rena, I know. Shake her head at this. The men didn't necessarily know that that's what they were doing. They just said, okay, well, I'll just defecate here while this idol is sitting here. And it's like, well, haha, joke's on you. You just committed idolatry. And this idea of the Yetzer Hara, it's like, well, it just starts with a tiny little thing. And one thing, well, you've done that, so might as well just do the next one. And you might as well do the next one. And by the time you're, far, far, far gone, it doesn't even seem like you're doing anything that terrible because it's been so incremental up to this point. So that's what the Israelites were doing. So we can understand why God was incensed, and we can understand why Moses was instructing the leaders to impale and to kill all of their, anybody who was partaking in idolatry, specifically through this act of prostitution. Now, another thing to understand is that in the ancient world, you had something called a kadeshah. And a kadeshah, it's the word like kadosh, it sounds like a nice thing, a holy person, but it's actually somewhat euphemistic language. A kadeshah was a woman who was a prostitute who was associated with a pagan temple. And the way of engaging in idolatry was by having sex with this kadeshah at the temple. And so this idea of when it says that the Israelite men were whoring themselves out, prostituting with these Moabites, it's not just they were having sex, but that it very likely was them engaging in an act of idolatry. Even if they didn't mean for it to be idolatry, because they don't really care about it, they were just having sex, it doesn't change the fact that what they were doing actually was, committing idolatry. So either way, so it's problematic. And then all of a sudden we have this guy, and we know it is Zimri ben Salu, who brings this Midianite. And we say, well, a Midianite is not a Moabite. What's going on here? But if we go back to the beginning of Parshat Balak, we see that Balak, who is the king of the Moabites, was worried about the Israelites. And so he sends word to the Midianites and say, why don't you join us and we're going to curse these Israelites. We're going to hire this prophet Bilam to come and curse the Israelites. And the Midianites, decide, let's join in on this. And so they help pay for Bilam. And so here we have, yes, the Midianites at one point were aligned with Moshe, the head priest, is the father-in-law of Moshe, but they thought, well, here's an opportunity to fend off these Israelites because we're a wandering people and we need to be able to wander over lands, and we know that we have relationship with the people who are currently here, so maybe the Israelites won't, have patience with us as we are idolaters. So yeah, maybe we should throw our lot in with these Moabites. And so in a way, the Torah is conflating Moabites and Midianites in this case. So what happens is, this is a fantastic story. Why is it that, that Pinchas felt it was necessary to kill Zimri and Cosbi. And this story comes from Sanhedrin, from the Talmud. It says if Zimri had separated himself from the woman, and only then Pinchas had killed him, Pinchas would have been executed for killing him. Right? So because it's permitted for zealots to kill only while the transgressor is engaged in the act of intercourse. And so what the Talmud is telling us is that Zimri actually brought Cosbi before Moses and the Sanhedrin and proceeded to engage in intercourse with her in front of everybody, which is pretty crazy. And it's because they were actually in the act of intercourse. That is why Pinchas was permitted to kill them in that moment. It had to happen afterwards, or right, it would not have been okay. But because they were actually in the act, he could stop it. He could stop them in their tracks. So the tribe of Shimon, so let's understand the background. The tribe of Shimon went to Zimri and said to him, they're judging cases of capital law and killing us. Are you going to sit there and remain silent? So what did Zimri do? He got up and gathered 24,000 people from the children of Israel and went to Cosbi, the daughter of Tzur, princess of Midian, and said to her, submit to me and engage in intercourse with me. And she said to him, I am the daughter of a king, and my father told me to submit myself only to the greatest of the Israelites. But Zimri said to her, but I too am the head of a tribe. Moreover, I'm actually even greater than Moses, because he's from the second of the womb, as he descends from Shimon. I'm greater because I descend from Shimon, the second son of Jacob, and Moses descends from Levi, the third son of Jacob. So he seizes Cosbi by her forelock, by her hair, and brought her before Moses. And Moses said, son of Amram, you, Moses, is this woman permitted or forbidden? And if you say that she's forbidden, what about the daughter of Yitro, the woman that you're married to? How is she permitted for you? And so the halakha, what to do in this case, escaped Moses. He wasn't sure, he was kind of stunned by this. He was like, well, she's a Midianite. She's not really a Moabite. But the Moabites and Midianites are kind of in cahoots with one another. And does that make me at fault because I'm married to a Midianite? And what am I supposed to do? And I can't believe this man's actually engaging in intercourse right in front of me. He's just frozen dumb. And because Moses freezes, according to the rabbis of the Talmud, that is what leads all of the other men of the Sanhedrin to begin crying. How could our great leader, freeze and not actually know how to take action? And it's at that moment that Pinchas, who learned Torah from Moses and learned what the proper step would be to take in this case, he said, I can't bear this. I can't bear to watch my teacher not doing anything. I'm going to go. And he grabs the spear and he kills the two of them while they are in the middle of the act, engaging in intercourse. And by doing so, he turns away God's wrath. And all the other Israelites realize, maybe we shouldn't be doing this. And they in fact stop doing it. So it seems like this, it's a very strange story that we have here. And is the Torah advocating for vigilante justice? And really isn't, because the only reason this is permitted is because the act had happened after public warning and in the face of numerous witnesses. And therefore there was no doubt whatsoever. And when it comes to capital punishment, as long as there is warning in front of witnesses and an act occurs in front of witnesses, it's a kind of closed case. We know that the person in fact is guilty. So it's not wrong what Pinchas had done. And in fact, what he did was try to scare people away from continuing these acts of idolatry. So, which raises the question, did this actually happen? Right? This seems like a very crazy story, and 24,000 people dying as a result of idolatrous acts seems like a really crazy story. And I wonder if this story is shared with us in a similar way to the story of the rebellious son, where the rabbis say that going through everything, trying to rationalize, and they said, in fact, never was there a rebellious son, never was a son stoned and killed for being rebellious, but it's here more as a warning and as to be able to receive the reward of studying this. And so I wonder if the story here is, in a way, to scare Israelite children off of, from engaging in sexual relations with non-Israelites, specifically with idolaters. And while it seems really insane, we know that in a way this story still lives on today. That there are plenty of Jewish parents who, they're maybe not necessarily in Mishkan, but there are plenty of Jewish parents around the world who tell their children, if you go and fall in love and marry somebody who's not Jewish, you're going to be cut off from the family. And whether parents actually follow through with that or not, there's another story. But there's this idea of using it as a threat. Because we want to have this continuity of the Jewish people, of our Jewish project. And if it becomes watered down by practicing other faiths, what then happens? And so what we see today is plenty of, there are two realities to this. We do have Jewish young adults who choose to marry people who are not Jewish. If the person is practicing an observant of another faith, that is problematic from the Jewish perspective, because children who are brought up with two faiths, not just they'll receive Christmas presents, but they go to church and they go to synagogue. At some point, they have to choose a religion, and they may choose not Judaism, and that is problematic. But if somebody who's Jewish, problematic for the sake of Jewish continuity, I should say. If the child who's Jewish decides to marry somebody who's not Jewish but not practicing another faith, and that person is fine raising children in the Jewish faith, it becomes less of a problem. But then we have a problem within that, which is, how do we respond to them? Do we continue to shun them, and do we stab them through the guts and say, you are dead to us? Or do we say, well, let's bring you in, right? Do we treat them like Tzipora, or do we treat them like Cosby, right? If we treat them like Cosby, we know that Jewish child and their children are gone forever. But if we treat them like Tzipora and welcome them into the community, eventually they may become more zealous for God than we are. It's Tzipora who's the one who's circumcised Gershom, who circumcised Moses' son on the way back from Midian to Egypt to help free the Israelites. She became a very staunch supporter. And her father, Jethro, became a very staunch supporter of Moses and helped influence the way that we live as a people. Which it's all about how we react and how we bring people in. It seems like a very jarring story at first and a really upsetting story, but I think the message is still there and still very much alive today. We are zealous for our faith. We don't want it to disappear, and we try everything we possibly can to be able to maintain the Jewish religion and the Jewish community, the Jewish people. Sometimes people may be overly zealous, and it causes a lot of harm. Right? And sometimes people do nothing, and it also causes a lot of harm. It's about finding that kind of healthy balance in the middle. We want to create something that is attractive and engaging, that makes people want to be part of the Jewish community. But if for some reason, if they still look outside of it, we don't want to turn them away. We don't want to just cut them off and kill them off and say, well, that's that. We want to bring them and their partner back in to ensure that we can have a growing, thriving, exciting Jewish community. And may we all try to find that balance in our own lives and be able to welcome in those who are maybe not part from within, but want to be part of our community. Okay, I realize we are now after 12 o'clock. We started a little late, and now we're running a little late. I feel very bad. So we're gonna just jump back into our Siddur. We're gonna go to page 205 for Aleinu. Yes, page 205 for Aleinu. Invite you to rise if you wish, and then we'll conclude after that. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשחווים ומודים, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר הארץ, ומשה בקרוב השמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובהי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום להשבותה אל לבבך. כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת, אין עוד. ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. Get to page 207 now for the Mourner's Kaddish. Kaddish Tome. This Shabbat, we lovingly recall the memory of Letitia Singer and Harold Prince Goldberg. Jeffrey's Jeffrey's father. Yes. Right, Michelle? Jeffrey's father? Yes. And Mildred Rosenzweig, Ann Warner, and Leatrice Ortas, Saul's mother, and Judy, your friend, and Carol, your grandmother. And so all those who have a need or desire to say Kaddish Yitam, Mourner's Kaddish, invite you to join me, page 207, Mourner's Kaddish. And I invite everybody, if you want to unmute yourself so we can hear you say Kaddish, or just to be able to say Amen. We'll be a little off with one another, but it'll be nice to be able to hear one another's voices. All right, page 207. Yitgadal v'yitkadal
Amen. Yivrak v'yotei v'yalif malchutei. V'yachon v'yomechon v'chayei t'chol Beit Yisrael. V'zman kariv v'yamru Amen.
Amen.
Hey, Shemei Rabba Mevorah, Olam Olam Olam.
Yitbarach
Yitpar v'yakramam v'yitnaseh. V'yitar v'yitalev v'yitalol shmit kudesha b'rechu. Mikol b'chata v'shirata t'lisbechata v'nechata v'ran ba'amal v'yavru Amen.
Amen.
V'chayim aleinu v'yakol Yisrael v'yamru Amen.
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 Aseh shalom b'olam hu yaseh shalom kol Yisrael v'yamru Amen.
Amen.
The one who is in the heavens above, make peace for us, all of Israel, and for all of humanity, and let us say
Amen.
So this week we actually have a number of birthdays, starting with today. It's Linda Brookman's birthday, and tomorrow little Naomi Samek is going to be 2 years old, and then Wednesday little Arwel Raz is going to be 4, and then David Feldman has a birthday, and Vera Kadan, one of our little preschoolers, is turning 3, and then Phyllis Sorter has a birthday, as is Jeffrey Prince, and Sabina Kleinman Cook, Matt Nuss, and Pamela Hartman. So happy birthday to all who are celebrating this week. And we have 2 anniversaries this week. Meredith Wilson and Ken Luria are celebrating their 24th anniversary on the 14th. And Nancy Cohen and David Paris are celebrating their 31st anniversary on the 17th. So happy anniversary, Mazal Tov to them. We also, as we said before, and Peter can speak about this if you want, but we want to congratulate Peter on the birth of his second grandson, little Alice Prowell, and also we want to say Mazal Tov to Carly and Mike Ryback on the birth of their son Theo, who was born last Shabbat. So Mazal Tov, and any other simchas? What else are we celebrating here? Anybody? Who wants to share? No other simchas? Okay, Marilyn.
So I just want to say that I attended Jeffrey and Michelle's Songs for the Jewish Soul on Sunday, and it was so marvelous. And I don't know if Michelle is still here, but I know they did a lot of work to get all the lyrics on the screen. It was like Jewish karaoke, and it was just really wonderful.
Was it Singing with Mitch? Having on the bottom of the screen?
Yes.
Yes, Peter.
Well, this has been a few weeks. It's a few weeks old, but I just wanted to mention that Avery, my son Avery, who's studying law at UCI, is doing his summer internship at Beth Tzedec.
Nice.
And I don't know if you know what Beth Tzedec is, but it is a legal aid society that benefits everybody, not just Jewish people in the LA area. And it's a very essential community service.
Yeah, it's a great organization. Actually, I know that they're about to lose their executive director who's heading over to the Skirball. I wonder if I didn't hear anything about them replacing her with who's taking over, but that's very,
I'll have to ask Avery about that.
That's great. Very exciting. Any other simchas we're celebrating? Carol Felixson.
Well, I started what I hope will be a weekly activity with my younger grandchildren. I call it Story Time with Bubby. And I took a few of my granddaughter's favorite books, and over FaceTime, I read to them while they were having a snack. And it was really sweet and a way for us to be in touch.
You should check out an app called Caribou.
Yeah, okay.
Books loaded into it, and so you read along with. It's like video and the books kind of loaded in there. It's really it's a fun app.
Okay, I'll check it out.
So Lev does that with her grandparents sometimes.
Okay.
Any other simchas? All right. Yeah, Raz. Can't hear you.
Unmute yourself, Roz.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Gabriel unmuted me. I thought I was when I started speaking. I found out about a week ago that my nephew Adam and his wife are expecting their first child in January.
Yeah, b'shah tova.
I'm hoping the world will be more normal in January, so visiting will be easier, but we'll see.
B'ezrat Hashem. It's great.
At the moment, they live in Arkansas. I don't know that they're going to stay there forever, but they're working there.
Jaime, did you just put up your hand? You want to? No. Jaime, what lake is that you are in front of? I can't hear you. I know it's like, I can't hear you. You're still muted. I know it's Lake Mammoth. You told us that last week.
Yeah, it's either Mammoth or possibly this is Tuolumne Meadows, Yosemite, where my daughter and I often take a trip to from Mammoth.
So we tried fishing at Convict Lake and Lake Mamie and a few other places, and no avail. Nothing was biting. But I felt better when I didn't see anybody else around us catching any fish. So, so I knew it wasn't just us. I knew it wasn't because we were absolutely miserable.
Fish are in quarantine.
They may not have been stocking also.
They said they were, but maybe,
okay.
Maybe not. Wait, David, you had something to share?
Oh, just to say that I'm enjoying seeing the faces of those who are on video, including Kelly, just appeared briefly. So, everybody.
And thank you so much, David. Andy, you wanted to share something as well?
Yeah, I just wanted to second that. What David said, it's very good to be home. And it was also good to be out in wide open spaces, kind of echoing what you just said. And went to, I don't know, maybe 8 or 10 national parks, and got to drive like all the way across North Dakota and back all the way across Kansas, and see Telluride, and just some really beautiful places. So very happy to have had the adventure, and it's good to be home too.
So maybe you can answer for me. Where the heck is Wall Drug?
Wall, South Dakota. I stayed there.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
I love Wall. It's really cool.
Yeah, it was very cool. Yeah, I stayed a mile away in one of my favorite lodgings. It was these awesome, like frontier style cabins. Really cool.
Nice. I love the Black Hills. It's a beautiful area too.
Yeah.
That's good. Rena,
Andy, I've stayed in those cabins
Really?
right by Wall Drug. Yes.
Yeah, they're so much fun, right?
It's one of my favorite memories as a child.
Really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Wonderful.
Gabriel, how do you spell caribou?
Caribou.
Well, check on your app and email me after Shabbat.
Okay.
Because I'm not finding it.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's a normal way of. It's a little off. Maybe it doesn't have the O in there. I don't. But I think it's just a single R, single B. So, tough. All right. Well, we get some brief announcements, Madam President. Should we sing? I guess you say, what can make me feel this way? My girl, my girl, my girl. Talking about my girl, my girl.
My girl.
Ooh.
Oh, I missed that. I really missed that. Yay. Good Shabbos, everyone. Thank you, as always, to Rabbi Botnick for his amazing Shabbat services every week. The following Zoom classes continue this week. Stephanie Avedon's yoga tomorrow morning at 9. Rachel Can's Zumba Monday morning at 9. Rabbi Dan's Prophets Monday evening at 7:30. And Rabbi Botnick's Torah study Tuesday afternoon at 2. Check the messenger or the website for more information and the Zoom one-click. Yesterday, we mailed membership renewal notices, and Tuesday, we will be emailing them. Renewing everyone is crucial to Mishkon's continuing success and growth. So if you are in touch with other Mishkan members, please encourage them to respond when they get their email and mail. We are continuing our evaluation of all possibilities for the High Holy Days. We will keep you posted every step of the way. The tenants of our restaurant space have given it back to us with all the wonderful equipment in it. We are looking for new tenants, so keep your ear to the ground in case you hear of anyone interested doing a restaurant, keeping it a restaurant. Now you can imagine that we are going downstairs for a yummy kiddush and schmoozing, followed by hugs and kisses before we all leave for home. From my mouth to God's ear, as they say. Good Shabbos.
Shalom. Toda rabah. Yeah, we're going to conclude page 211 with Adon Olam. And then afterwards, anybody here on Zoom wants to hang out and chat with one another, by all means, you're welcome to do so. So again, page 211. Adon Olam asher malach v'terem kol yitzir nivra li'et nasa bechefzo kol azai melech shemo nikra v'yacharei kichlot hakol livado imloch nora v'hu haya v'hu hoveh v'hu yeh b'tifara v'hu echad v'yein sheni lahamshir lo lahachbira v'li reshit v'li tachlit v'lo ha'oz v'hamisra v'hu eli v'chai goali v'tzur chevli b'yet sahara v'hu nisi umanos li menat kosi b'yom ekra b'yado afkid ruchi b'yet ishan v'ya'ira v'im ruchi geviati Adonai li v'lo ira. Good Good Shabbos. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Shabbat Shalom. So please feel free to unmute yourselves and chat, hang out.
Thank you for that. That was great. I'm going to scoot now, but it was great seeing everybody.
Great to see you. I hope you're okay.
Yeah, I'm fine now. Thank you.
You report that so-and-so who went after you if you can.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I think it was just I don't know. I think he was probably just a little, not quite all there. And I don't know if there's much you can really do about it. So
Well, you don't want to go after somebody else.
Yeah, you want to let the police know in case he goes after other people. I was threatened on Lincoln Boulevard many months ago by a guy who wanted to force himself on me. And I reported it. And then later I heard from someone else that he went after a friend of hers and wanted her to watch her masturbate and stuff. So I think it's good for the police to know if there's whacked out creeps running around. I really do.
Yeah, they can keep an eye on that area or that block.
Okay. Well, good. Well, thank you.
Peter, God bless your grandchild, Peter, and may he thrive.
Yes.
Right.
Amen.
Thank you very much.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
I
Good
wanted
Shabbos.
to-
It's great to see everybody.
Good to see everybody.
Good to see
I
you.
wanted to express my appreciation for the Drosh, for the explanation that went beyond the gruesome story and the great relevance it has today. What's in Torah and why it matters. I think that was very good.
Thank you, Jaime. Thank you.
Good not to take it literally.
And before we all quit, and actually while Gabriel is still here, I'm unmuted. That people who have time in the middle of the day should consider going to his Torah study, which is really good.
Thank you.
And
Good work. No.
I recognize that some people do not have time in the middle of the day, but some people do.
Kelly, at the top of the screen where it says live, if you can just kind of click that and then click